Let's test out my marketing skills. Woo! What's up, guys? This is Serge. I'm gonna tell you about my top 5 instrumental records. Alright, number 5, God's an Astronaut, self-titled. If you want an album that just chills you out, and it makes you feel good, and then you just feel like you're dangling in space, feel like you're just free falling in space, but in a pleasant way, not that you're suffocating or anything. This is the album for you. You should definitely check it out. Very melodic. A lot of ambient stuff going on. Nice guitar riffs, beautiful. Number 4 is Fade by Cloudkicker. This is a very cool album. It's definitely a different twist from what Cloudkicker usually has done in the past, or what people know Cloudkicker to do. You know, a lot of people know him for a lot of his sort of metal side and prog metal side, but this was just sort of a rock record kind of, but it also has very cool riffs, and there's a lot of cool songs, especially one off of there that has this like really cool key change, and he makes it so seamless when he goes to the key change, and it's awesome. Ben Sharp, that's half of a heart. I can't do the other half because I'm holding the camera, but kudos to Ben Sharp for sure. It's also definitely a good album if you're just taking a long drive and you're, you know, driving out and you see a bunch of cornfields and you're like, man, I just need to listen to some Cloudkicker in this cornfield right now. Definitely go for that. Number 3 is the album Audio by Blue Man Group. This album came out when I was like, I don't know, 5 or 6, something like that. And it's the first kind of music that I've heard without words in it. Or I should say the first kind of rock music that I've heard without words in it. And this album is just a complete masterpiece. And they have, you know, they're using a lot of the same drums, that like big drums that they're using in like the actual show itself. So they have a lot of cool different sounds, and it came out, I don't know, like 1998 or 99 or something like that. I think it was 99, but definitely I feel like that album was just way ahead of its time. I remember when I was little, like my parents went to go see the show or something like that, and then they brought home that CD, and I was just listening to it for like 10 years straight. Definitely check that out. And they have a lot of cool auxiliary percussion as well, like PVC pipe and all that stuff that they use. So a lot of different sounds and awesome riffs. Number 2 is a hard one for me, but I'm gonna have to say it's Beacons by Cloudkicker. When I first heard Beacons, again, it's like, now this is kind of showing Ben Sharp's metal side, but yeah, I just listened to that like 24/7. Like there's a couple tracks on there that have, you know, amazing riffs that are changing time signatures constantly too, and there's some riffs that kind of just keep going on and going on, but I feel like they're so catchy that I could just listen to these like same riffs for like a minute straight. And then there's a couple tracks on there that have very ambient and clean effects and sounds, so definitely check out Beacons. It's one of his longer ones. It's cool because when you read each song name on that album in chronological order, it kind of represents an event of like a plane crash. So you have to like read the names of each of the tracks, and then it kind of, like when you see them all together, it kind of like simulates like what a plane crash would be. Which I guess plane crashes aren't cool, but the concept was pretty cool, so definitely check that out. Numero uno! Alright, number 1 has got to be the first Animals as Leaders album, self-titled. But dude, what about The Joy of Motion? Isn't that the best one? I love The Joy of Motion, definitely. The thing is, when I first heard Animals as Leaders, it was when the first album came out, and it just stuck with me. It blew me away. Every single song on there blew me away. I could not stop listening to that. I don't even know. I had to have been like 18 or 19 when that came out. I think I was 18, but yeah, I could not stop listening to that record on the bus every day. The thing I like about that record is that you can have people that combine different styles of music, like jazz with metal, with classical and whatnot. But sometimes you'll hear that, you know, if someone tries to do that, they'll have like a metal part, and then like they'll have a jazz part, you know, and then they'll go back to the metal part. But I feel like with what Tosin did and those guys, I guess Tosin just wrote the album by itself. But what I'm saying is, I think what Tosin did a great job of literally combining those together in a way that they're happening at the same time, instead of just like, oh yeah, so here's a jazz part, and here's a metal part, and then here's like a electronic part. So I think that's why that album was amazing to me, and I still listen to it, and I love every other album that they came out with too. I just something about that first one just stuck with me. So that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed me rant. Check out my new song Progress I've. Check out my song Whim. Check out my backseat right there. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So, all right, talk to you guys. Serge signing out.